I'm going to go ahead and kind of do a prequel to what I talked about with Wmpyr. Wmpyr did a phenomenal job of explaining your angles on your first attack, hitting your threat. As you change your levels immediately, you hit, you change levels, you make your forward angle. You don't walk straight at your threat. You angle off, hitting his quadricep, or you hit and come back in and angle off, hitting his bicep. You have to move at angles. As soon as you start to change levels, you're moving at angles. Okay? Well, I think that was fantastically done in the BAC number 8. But I want to take a step back. I really want to get into what I feel is the most important part about edge defense. If you have an edged weapon, the most important part about having that edged weapon for defense is deploying it. Now, if you perceive your threat because you're going in condition orange or condition red, or you are aware of your surroundings, whatever you want to call it, you will have your non-opened edged weapon in your hand. I see a threat. I do it. I've drawn it. I'm not doing this. I have it concealed still, and I'm going, hey, look, bang, hit my threat, took it away, and go. But let's say you do not have that that perceived threat, or you have intuition going, and you're being attacked. You have to be able to deploy your edged weapon for defense with either hand and in a compromised stature, meaning when you have your startle reflex, you flinch and you protect yourself. If you have any kind of training, the first thing you do is protect yourself. Bang. So from here, if you're being attacked, you want to draw your weapon as fast as possible. Whether it's a thumb opening, whether it's an inertia opening, which will void most of your blade's warranties, or whether it's an index opening, we can go into the same thing. We can go into reverse grip, whether we're using our ring finger open, pinky open, or we go ahead and use inertia opening. For my reverse grip, I use inertia, and for my strong hand grip or my saber grip, I use a thumb snap. It works for all my defensive edges. I like it, that are folders. So when we come into our compromised position, we need to be able to grab, come in, take away the threat, but we also have to be able to, if we're in a pummel and we're grabbing onto the threat, we need to be able to grab our knife with our opposite hand. Now we're going to attack low, come up, okay? Or we're going to go ahead and slash. If I'm pommeling, I'm going to go after carotid, and I'm coming down low. You guys can go ahead and train a lot of this, but you have to remember one thing. We have to deploy our knife, and we have to be able to do it in a good stature, but we also have to deploy this knife from compromised positions. Deploying your edge, very important. We need to talk about this, and we need to have it done. You have to practice this a lot. I really appreciate your time. Thanks to Wmpyr, and I appreciate it. Destructo out.
Hello, this is Wmpyr, and for today I'm going to be following off of Destructo's lead. Let's talk about a situation where your opponent is very, very aggressive. Okay, so in that scenario, I don't want to move back because they're coming in forward, and if we trade shots like this, right, I'm moving backwards and throwing my shots, and they're moving forwards throwing their shots, chances are theirs is going to be more powerful. So I don't want to play that game. Not that I want to be trading shots in the first place. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to be circling. Alright, so I'm going to be moving off to the left or to the right. And as I circle, I want to make it difficult for them. Alright, so I'm going to be pumping that jab in their face as I try to move out to the side, okay? And if they're aggressively coming at me and that jab is catching them, or it makes them blink just for that split second, and I'm circling, I'm continuously moving off to the side, then what happens is, in their eyes, it's going to look like I teleported. I'm just going to disappear from their vision right here. So I'm supposed to be right in front of them, and then I'll be gone because I'll be over here to the side. And then from the side, that sets me up for a right cross and a left hook, or an uppercut. Alright, these are very high percentage KO shots right there. So this right cross and boom, off from an angle instead of straight head on. Okay, so you've heard it before. It's the shot that you don't see that knocks you out. So let's practice this real quick. Throw some jabs, but remember, you have to be circling. I really can't do it because I'm in a very confined space. So as you're throwing the jabs, you should be moving off to the side, and then once you get the chance, boom, boom, alright? It could be an uppercut, or it could be your left hook, okay? Now, I know what you're thinking. You're going, hey, you know, Wmpyr, this is a knife video. What you're doing here is boxing. Well, this is how that's all gonna take place, okay? So, once again, the same scenario. The guy's very, very aggressive coming at you, okay? You're gonna be throwing that jab, okay, as you're circling. Remember to do it simultaneously. And as you're throwing that jab, look at my right hand. From here, it comes down, and as I'm throwing that jab, I'm going to take out my knife, okay, and just hold it like this. And now, when I get the chance, I'm going to throw that right cross, which now has some weight in my hand, so that's going to help me out. Or I could make it into a hammer fist now that I have a closed knife in my hand right here. So, boom, and then once again, the same combo right here. So a hammer fist instead of the right cross, and then I can come in with that left hook, okay? Alright, so as I'm pumping that jab and I take this out, so it's almost like the jab is a distraction, and my footwork, they have to follow me. And as I'm doing that, I take out the knife, okay? And if I'm able to deploy it, alright, if I'm able to, then it's no longer going to be a right cross, it's no longer going to be a hammer fist, it's going to be a slash, right? Okay, but chances are, so boom, boom, I'm doing that, okay, and they may catch up to me. They may catch up to me, and the pressure might be great. So in that case, realistically, all right, realistically, when things aren't going well, I can ball up here and use both hands to deploy the knife like this, okay? This may seem ultra basic, but having two hands deployment, okay, to practice this, you're just being nicer to yourself, okay?